My time in the world today, it's a magical life, and I'm here to say I didn't mean to start another podcast by singing. That's what my friend's podcast will be, but I did. I did start a podcast by singing, and I'm very sorry to my unnamed friend who will be having a podcast where he sings. I encourage him to do it. I'm not trying to snake your deal, my friend. Hi! Today's episode of Nick Flanagan Weekly is sponsored by Ziggy's Middle Eastern Food on Bathurst Street. I purchased a veggie sandwich there earlier. That's the reason I'm not suffering from hanger. Ziggy's, hanger management through shawarma and wraps. Welcome, folks, to Nick Flanagan Weekly. I'm Nick Flanagan, your host of the day. Keemstar. Anyone here know Keemstar? I don't think I have that much crossover to the Keemstar audience, and yet I know the name of a variety of YouTube people, including Keemstar, Rice Gum, of course, Jake and Logan Paul. Then you get into the professional Fortnite people like Ninja. It's not important. Just know I game and I watch YouTube, so you don't have to. How are you today? Today is Wednesday. My week has been a roly-poly-oly, let me tell you. That computer course I mentioned at the beginning of the week, not taking it anymore. I did something that is very common in my life, where I got excited and I thought I could do something. I misunderstood what the thing was and the extent of it, and then I backed out. I don't do that all the time, but it just wasn't good timing with this class. It would have been a great way to interact with different people, learn some computer stuff, get some information. But the thing is, I'm writing a script. I'm excited for that. And today I have three voice auditions. And I'm not saying this to brag. I was just in LA and for like 2 years, and things were not happening that smoothly. And they're not really happening smoothly here, but they are coming along. So I am reporting this to you because it is positive. So last night I had to send an email that said, I really appreciate the course. Thank you so much. But I just can't do it. And they didn't check their email, and I still think I got like a phone call today. But my phone is broken as well. So that happened. I like having a broken phone in some ways. It's just like, get that stuff away from me. And I can still listen to like podcasts on it if I talk to Siri. It's just there's no screen. If you know how to fix a screen, please write weeklypodcast, WEAKLY, @gmail.com, and offer to fix my screen for a fraction of the cost that it would if I took it into a Mac repair place. Or don't. I'm willing to barter and trade. I can give you a Voltron toy. Maybe. What's going on? I'm listening to some Mozart. The comment on this Mozart thing says, thanks to channels like these, we'll soon reach the critical mass of people required to heal the planet. See, this is a very self-centered aspect to the entire spiritual world that really gets to me. To me, the world, and not the spiritual world, but the physical world, Gaia, Terra, Firma, Planetos, is, first of all, it's not even the only planet in the solar system, so that's incredible. But unto itself, it is a force. It is a being. It is huge. It is massive. It's like John Holmes style massive. Or, if we're being gender, trying to satisfy two genders, Dolly Parton style massive. Or Caitlyn Jenner's popularity style massive. I'm just trying to cover bases. Or Chaz. This is not going well. I'm going to abandon it. Not the podcast. I'm going to keep podcasting for some reason. I'm just going to abandon that metaphor because it was going down the tubes. Okay. People think we can like heal the world as humans, that we have that capacity. You know who has that capacity? Turtles. Giant turtles. Maybe a lynx. Yaks. Bison. You know, this sort of more cattle in general. Those are what heals the world. Those are the things whose spirit is what forges the ball we're on. We're just part of the animal mix. Maybe if we bind ourselves to animals and, you know, had the unclouded spirit that they have, you know, we could heal the world. But no, it is our follies and our sinning that will destroy the world. And I've accepted it. Have you? Have you accepted apocalypse into your heart? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Oh, if we all meditate at the same time, we're gonna heal the planet, man. Good vibes, man. Good vibes. You know what? Screw vibes. We've just got the vibe we got, and we're trying to make the best of the world with our vibe. And if your dog doesn't like my vibe, put the dog in the other room. I hate it when people say, oh, you know, this dog is really good at detecting people who are like good people. Yeah, you mean like people who have biscuits in their pocket or who have touched other dogs recently? Like, if a dog starts barking at someone, it is not on that person. It is on whatever crazy idea their owner or their prior owner has put in this dog's mind about what to fear and what fear is. Vibes. What would you say my vibe is? Confusing, isn't it? That's because all of our vibes are confusing. Nobody leaves this world with a pure vibe. The world is what poisons the vibe. We enter the world with the pure vibe, and then they throw mud on it. All right, well, a little Wednesday hump day spirituality for you. Hi, my name is Patch Adams, and I'm here to high-five any sick kids around. I've never seen Patch Adams, and I never will. Hello, welcome to the Debunking Podcast. Today on Debunking, we'll be debunking the person Patch Adams. You thought that he was a nice male nurse who took care of the sick children. Actually, he was not a great, perfect guy. I hate that too when people go like, you know, Mother Teresa was actually bad. It's like, yeah, probably. I don't know. What, are you going to live a pure life? Even Jesus, abused water, kind of. Okay. So as you can see, I'm sort of having a freewheeling one today. Or as you can hear if you're hearing this instead of seeing it. You can also go to my YouTube channel, which is under the name Nick Flanagan, and watch these videos. I don't have a ton of views for them, but I have a little setup, and I wear clown noses sometimes. It's stupid. I'd love to know what you think. I'm doing a comedy show tonight. My laughable and unlovable show. Today is the 22nd of August. You might be listening to this in 10 years. Who knows? I might be living a solitary life in Nepal by the time you hear this, in which case I'll have retired from comedy most likely. But for now, my show is tonight. It's at Unlovable Wonderful Bar on Dundas Street in Toronto, and I used to do the show with a comedian named Steph Tolev. She's in LA, killing it. Steph Tolev, ripping it apart at all times. One of the funniest comics in LA right now. It's Stephanie Tolev. But yeah, she doesn't do it with me anymore. Got an awesome lineup. I'm excited for it. I haven't been able to write a lot of new material for it. I've been working on sort of the same 15 minutes for the last 3 or 4 months, tinkering with it. But that makes it hard for a show like this where sometimes there's a return audience. But I have a book called The Right Words, which has funny turns of phrases. So I'm gonna bring that on stage with me and see if I use some of those right words to use in conversations on a crowd if they like me. Got a little gimmick. Plus, I have a bit I'd almost like to work out with you, the listener, right now. Maybe we can come up with a comedy bit together, here, live and direct, in person. It's a joke I've been telling, or a thought I've been expressing, about how I wish weakness were truly appreciated in society. That's part of why I've used the word weak in my work over the last while, is I think, there's a difference in between being helpless and being selfish, and helpless, and we're all helpless is all I'm trying to say, to a greater or smaller extent. And if we realized our overall weakness to the power of the world in the face of the eye of the storm, well, it might be just enough to heal the planet. But yeah, I just think weakness is really gets a bad rap, Just because I don't know how to tie my shoes, that don't make me unemployable. I want to walk into a job interview and have someone say, "What do you bring to the table?" And I just want to say, nothing. I don't. I might be late. I might make you feel good about your performance. And I want them to say, you know what? You're the new boss. You're the new boss. We're going to give you a shot. I think that I've actually realized the basis of why I've can't shake doing this joke, and it's because of ADD. It's because of the idea that ADD is people have different brains. Whether that's true or not, I'm not a scientist. Apparently it's just a different type of brain, and I'd love to live in a world that lets me have this brain, And I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So that's what I'm saying. And weakness right now is well, I do a podcast about how weak I am, and it brings in about $1 million a year, and I release it every day, and I'm pretty choosy about who my guests are. It's you're professional. I'm just saying, maybe the world needs to slip into amateurishness for a few years, and I want to usher it into the age of amateurishness. Amateurishness. I was looking for music to play today, and I found a Chet Baker song called Almost Blue. Chet Baker. I'm reading Miles Davis's autobiography right now, and he touches on Chet Baker. I don't know if he will further, but he is basically saying how annoyed he is that Chet Baker got as much plaudits and praise as he did in his back in the day, because he was fine, but he was nowhere near as good as all of these other black musicians, black jazz greats. And I don't want to sound like I'm like Miles Davis, but I've always put on Chet Baker and kind of been like, this is nice, but this isn't really doing it for me, And I think it's partly because although he's good, it's a little simple or something. I don't know. But it's just whatever. I don't know. Give me Bill Evans. That's the man who's been blowing my mind lately. But I think that this YouTube comment on Chet Baker's song explains some of my issues with Chet Baker. So, 3 years ago, this guy wrote, "This song makes me feel like a retired LA detective in a 1940s noir film, sitting in a bar alone, drinking away his pain and sorrow from all the things he's witnessed during his detective career." So I think maybe it's just that he has that kind of Bukowski, Tom Waits, Hunter Thompson thing that I used to idolize as a teenager, and then in my 30s I rejected it, And now I'm kind of coming back to admitting that those guys, some of them, have some real worth. Mostly Tom Waits. Sorry, it's true. And probably that's where Chet Baker is in that mix. He is talented. I just think maybe the whole like white heroin jazz guy thing, it feels like worshiping that in 2018 is like, just be a pagan or a Wiccan, Church of Satan, just if you're going to worship people who are just like hedonists, just like go into some neat pseudo religions, become a druid. By pseudo religions, I mean like religions that died and have now like come back in this like strange form. Cohen, Mueller, Manafort. Cohen, Mueller, Manafort. Bad day for Twitter, as someone wrote. Everyone sucks. Oh, president arrest soon. I mean, maybe he will. And the Michael Cohen stuff, it's all very funny. It's just that in no way is this situation good. In no way is this a situation that people should look at and say, oh, the good guys won. No, this is a goddamn mess. And it could have it will have massive repercussions on America. And I want them to be good, but I don't know. I don't know where any of this is going, and it's all very scary. It's not Orwellian, don't worry, I'm not going to call anything Orwellian. And I'm definitely into people being prosecuted for like crazy rich guy shit they're trying to pull. But it's just Schadenfreude is a sin. And even if you're not religious, there's a reason these things sometimes are sins. And I kind of think taking joy in the pain of others, even if it's Donald Trump, it's hard for me to even get those words out. Maybe Donald Trump, it's okay to take joy in. But you know, it's like, get mad at the things they're doing. Protest those. I don't know. Just it's like, worry about yourself getting arrested was what I'm saying. Did you pay your taxes? Did you? I'm too worried about just staying alive to start like getting all up in, you know, the dad from Webster being indicted. Papadopoulos? Why is that guy's name the same as the guy from Webster? Don't know. Well, folks, thank you for listening today. I'm having an end to this podcast for today. We've gone through some topics. I'd love to know what you think. I'm hoping this was a fun one. Wasn't too general. My musings on politics are not in any way meant to excuse the people doing so. I'm just, what does it all mean? Where is it going? Are we talking about policy here, or are you just taking joy in someone you don't like getting screwed? Because that's some reality show shit. So don't do it. Unless you want to do it instead of watching Big Brother. Comments, questions, job opportunities. Right, weeklypodcast@gmail.com. WEAKLY. This is Nick Flanagan Weekly. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being nice. Thank you for hugging someone. That body warmth is what will get us through the long winter. I feel like I was going to advertise someone's stuff, but I can't remember what. My Friends and Fucked Up have a new single. I haven't heard it yet, but you should check it out. We should listen to it together. Fucked Up are a band. I feel like I can say their name. Effed Up? Well, we're too late. The name's out there. Check out Damien's podcast, Turned Out a Punk. Peace, y'all.